Alright guys, I'm fired up right now because they keep pushing this idea. They keep pushing this right in our face, and at the same time they keep saying that this is not true and you're crazy if you believe this as well. Alright, they're talking out of both sides of their mouth right now on this topic, and they are releasing dangerous toxic chemicals onto us. Multiple states right now. Multiple states being documented right now. I have documentation of the past 24 hours. We are getting hit hard. Multiple states right now, and also overseas they're seeing very strange phenomenon, and these toxic chemicals could be traveling from overseas to America as well, right? This is the kind of thing that they would do in the middle of a war. All right, and they've done this before in warfare as well. They have released these same chemicals before in wars like Vietnam. They have used this same technology, and now they're using it on us, and they're rubbing it in our face. All right, I want you guys to look at this article really quick, and then I'm going to show you guys all these pictures that have been taken in the past 24 hours, and I actually took some of these pictures in Florida. All right, this stuff's happening right now. This is real. I'm going to show you guys what happened in the UK a couple days ago as well. All right, and they're just glazing it over, and they're saying this is normal. I want to know what you guys think, and tell me if this looks normal, and I want to know if you guys are seeing the same thing as well. All right, because the White House has confirmed this as well. This is official White House reports. I'll show this in a minute. All the stuff is confirmed. They're doing this stuff, but at the same time they are denying it as well. All right, but look at this article just posted a day ago from the Economist, and they actually changed the title for this. They had two titles for this. All right, here are the two titles that were just posted in the Economist yesterday. All right, and this has been spreading. They have been trying to normalize this idea, at the same time telling you you're crazy if you notice this. So let's look at this headline, and then let's look at these pictures as well, what's going on in the US and around the world. Insane pictures coming out of the UK as well. Pink skies, pink purple skies, and they're saying it's completely normal. People are saying they thought it looked like the apocalypse. Chemicals are being released into the air, into the atmosphere, into the stratosphere, and there's no consent. Look at this article from The Economist. It is time to consider tweaking the clouds to cool the planet. It's time to consider tweaking the clouds to cool the planet. That's coming out of The Economist. And here's the second one. It's time to consider giving the planet some sunblock. It looks like they changed the title. I'm not sure which one was the first one. All right. But these are the two articles, the two titles that just came out of The Economist yesterday. All right. They are mainstreaming this idea. Here's another one. Experts plan to turn off the sun in an attempt to save the earth. This was just a few days ago as well, coming out of mainstream news. All right, and then look at these pictures. Look at these pictures that I took in Florida yesterday. Look at these pictures. The sun is being blocked out. The sun is being blocked out. And then when all this was happening, it was extremely windy. It was cloudy. The weather was changing. All right. There was also these very strange events. People were reporting in Tampa Bay. There were meteorologists and weather people that report on it. They were reporting that the tides had all gone out. And they were saying that this has only happened a few times that they've recorded. All right, and the tides were way far out, way past the channel markers. This guy was just like walking out into the ocean past channel markers and stuff on the sand because the water was so far out. They're doing something. There is manipulation going on. The Gulf is also extremely warm right now, and it's not supposed to be this warm for winter time. All right, I know there are weather patterns, natural weather patterns, okay, but they also have these weather weapons that they are using in concurrence with this sun blocking and cloud seeding. Okay, they all go together. They have cloud seeding technologies as well, but this is called solar radiation management. All right, look at this picture from Virginia. Somebody posted this picture in the last 24 hours out of Virginia. All right, The skies are just blanketed, and they're admitting they're doing this. And at the same time, they say, this is crazy. This is not crazy. This is called geoengineering. This is called solar radiation modification. You just have to use their terms. These are real things that even the White House admitted. Look at this report released by the White House on solar radiation modification. All right, look at this report just a few months ago. I made a whole video on this, and they're saying that they are doing this to prevent a Holocene extinction event. They're saying that there's a mass extinction event going on, and they have to do this to prevent it. All right, something big is happening, and they're going all out. Why are they doing this? Because this is poisoning them too. What is really going on? It's very sketchy, and I'm worried that the people at the top are compromised that are allowing this, because this is global wide. Look at these pink skies that were all over the UK a few days ago, and they're saying it was just completely normal. They were saying that the official story is that it was just layers of clouds. It was just a layer of cloud, multi-layers of clouds, and the sun was just reflecting off it at the perfect angle during sunset, right? That's what they were saying, but this was being reported all over the UK. This purple haze was all over the place. Everyone was reporting it, and I thought these pictures were fake at first when I saw this. I saw this a few days ago, and then I saw them spraying yesterday as well, and I'm like, all right, they're going hard right now. I need to make a report on this, and I need to see what other people are saying as well, because this is, people read down below, they say, hey, my state's getting hit too. It's intel for people. All right, people are wondering, is this normal? People are seeing this stuff, and they feel crazy. You are not crazy. These are real programs. The White House has a whole program on this, and they're doing this all over the globe, all over Europe. Geoengineering. This is a global program. Who is doing this? Who is doing this? Is there a global government that is doing this geoengineering, this solar radiation modification? Who is in control of it, and who is funding it? Who is funding these pilots to be flying all day long? Sometimes, some days they are up there all day long. They're up there all morning, all night, all day. They're up there just 24/7 sometimes, flying back and forth. Who is funding these people? Who's funding the fuel, the aerosols, the pilots, the jets, the maintenance, everything? Where are these planes stored? Is this a military program? What kind of program is this? And I know there are local government programs, have their own cloud seeding programs. I've covered places like Santa Barbara County, California. They have their own cloud seeding program, and they have admitted documents. I made a whole video on this where they cloud seeded a hurricane earlier this year. Right? This stuff's real. This stuff's happening right now. We are living in the future where they have this dystopian technology, and they are unleashing it with no consent to anyone else. Right? People need to be informed of this, because people's homes are getting flooded potentially because of these disasters that they're amplifying. All right, there was a bomb cyclone in California, and they cloud seeded it. I made a whole video on this in their own documents on their county government website. All right, and I'll link the video down below. And people's homes were flooded and destroyed from this. Entire ancient lake beds that haven't existed for thousands of years are lakes again. All right, from the amount of rain and flooding that hit this area. This is insane. All right, and when do we reach a point where they're going to be held accountable for this? Because there's no consent. I don't want this. I do not consent. Let me know down below, do you consent to this geoengineering, this spraying? Because there needs to be a mass of people saying no to get this to change. All right, to bring this to a real conversation level. That's the goal here. Is we break these stories, we make it sounds crazy at first, but then we push it to reach a tipping point. All right, that's the point here. That's what we're doing here until it's forced into the national conversation. All this stuff. This is what we've been doing. You guys have been doing it too, sharing these videos, commenting, telling other people about this stuff, making your own stuff. All right, you guys, this is part of it. All right, and we can change this. If we bring this to a tipping point, we can get them to stop doing this. All right, but it needs to be revealed, and that's why they're coming out with all these different articles now saying it's good. They're saying we have to do this now because it's reached a tipping point where they can't just say it's not real anymore and say you're crazy if you notice the freaking tic-tac-toe, the zigzags all through the sky. They just can't say you're crazy anymore. So now they have to come out and say it's good. All right, but this is the stage before them having to stop if we keep going. Right, if there's lawsuits, things like this, of people that have real damages from this geoengineering, this cloud seeding, this farmers, okay? Farmers are blocking out the sun for their crops to grow. They could have crop failure, and it could be acidifying the rain. They are spraying sulfur dioxide, admittedly, to block out the sun, and when it interacts with UV rays and water vapor, it turns into sulfuric acid, turns into acid rain, and it rains down on your garden, your crops, the farm. It's acidifying the soil. Okay, all these different things. It's crop production, plant growth is directly affected by sunlight. All right, by the amount of sunlight that it gets. If a plant grows in the shade, it's not going to grow as big if it has direct sunlight. Right, and they're essentially just shading it out, putting a shade cloth on top of these plants all day and slowing down their growth. Okay, they're also removing CO2, which is plant food, and that's what plants need. And farmers, admittedly, they will pump CO2 into their greenhouses to make their plants grow bigger. All right, they will pump CO2 right into there to beef up their plants, beef up their tomatoes, whatever they have in there. This happens all over the world. This has been known for centuries and centuries and centuries. These techniques, these are natural processes, and they are trying to eliminate them and disrupt them with these dystopian projects that they are implementing. So please hit it up for me down there to help get this video out, and let me know too, what are you guys seeing? What are you seeing in your state? Because this is a nationwide program. The federal government launched a 5-year research program into this to research solar radiation modification and geoengineering cloud seeding. Okay, they gave millions of dollars for a grant last winter to cloud seed the Colorado River. The federal government did. This stuff's real, and I want to know what you guys are seeing, boots on the ground as well, and what kind of weather changes are you seeing. Okay, they were going crazy, and then all of a sudden the weather is very windy, and the sun has just been blocked out with this haze. All right, and you can even see the circle of the sun on those pictures I posted behind it. All right, they're just blocking it out, and it's very regional. Okay, it's like certain areas they're just blocking out the sun completely. Okay, and they also have these. This is probably something you didn't know, and if you did know, let me know down below, because I just learned about this. Maybe I'm just out of the loop on this, but did you know that they actually put sulfur dioxide inside the stacks of ships, right? Container ships. They put sulfur dioxide, so they burn sulfur dioxide from their smokestacks from ships that are operating all over the ocean, because they want to release this particulate, these nanoparticles as well. That's the other thing, that these are nanoparticles. These are aerosols that are easily absorbed and breathed into your body. And I've made a whole video on this military insider, this doctor that works for the military and DARPA, and he was warning how these nanoparticulate can respond to certain outside forces, right? Certain outside frequencies, outside control. Right, they can be activated from outside of a human body. He was saying they have military programs where they release nanoparticulate. And I'm not saying that's what this is, but where they have programs where they release particulates that you breathe in, and they can activate the particulate inside of you because it's nanomagnetic with EMF radiation and cause strokes and brain bleeding. All right, I'll link that video down below too, because this stuff's real. This stuff's happening right now, and it's all over the place. And they also release it in ships, right? Ships traveling all over the ocean, so they are doing it to the ocean as well. They're releasing the sulfur dioxide, admittedly, and it could be other things too. We don't really know exactly, because this is a secret program that they just have hidden in plain sight for decades. All right, but they're doing that to the oceans as well. You think, oh, there's fresh air out there, they're not doing that there. No, they're literally doing it even more out there. All right, they're forcing the ships to release sulfur dioxide, the same stuff they're doing to block out the sun as well. All the thousands and thousands of ships moving across the globe, a giant portion of them have sulfur dioxide inside their fuel, so when they burn it off, it's released into the air. All right, so it's everywhere, guys, and we need to say no before it's too late. All right, before it's too late, before our environment is completely contaminated with all these particles. We're already completely overwhelmed with these nanoplastics. All right, they did a whole study how these nanoplastic particulates are showing up in rain clouds now, and they're raining down on people. So you think, oh, this rain, because rainwater is supposed to be distilled, it's evaporated, so it's almost like a distilled water. It's supposed to be pretty pure, okay, for the most part. But the evaporated water and the nanoplastics are just in the air all the time, and they're being sucked up by the water droplets, and they're sticking to the clouds, and they're inside the clouds, and they're raining down nanoplastics on top of us now too. All right, this is happening all the time, and they're saying actually a big portion of it comes from tires, surprisingly. These nanoparticulates and these nanoplastics, they're saying that, and that, who knows if that's true, right? It could be true, who knows, could be one of these things to get rid of tires, it could be one of these things, but they are definitely coming up with nanoplastics inside the rain clouds as well too. They just did a major study on this in Japan, that all their clouds are just contaminated because they were trying to see if the radiation is out as well from Fukushima, and they noticed that there's a ton of nanoplastics as well. So this stuff's everywhere. It's really hard to get away from it, and this is why we need to turn back now before things get even worse, because this has catastrophic effects on the human species itself. Food production, fertility, reproduction, human growth rates, human hormone levels, all these things are being hit hard right now from all these chemicals and these nanoparticles being released. All right, so please hit it up for me down there, guys. This is important news, and share this stuff, because this is real. It doesn't even matter anymore if people think you're kooky or crazy. It's just, I don't even care anymore. I'm just so over it. I don't care. The truth and what's really going on is what matters, and stopping this stuff is what matters. All right, so thank you guys so much. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family. All right, I hope you're having a good Christmas time with your family. I'm spending some time with my family now. Really good to just spend time with your family and be close, make those bonds. All right, that's what's going to matter when stuff hits the fan. All right, so thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.